In this example, we're going to convert the equation r equals 7 from an equation in polar coordinates into an equation in rectangular coordinates. Unfortunately for this situation, as is true for most cases where you have a polar equation, it is not immediately clear what we can use to replace the values in this equation with things from rectangular coordinates, with values of x and y. That is because we have equations such as r times cosine of theta equals x, which would allow me to replace that phrase r cosine with x, but I don't see that here. I see we also have r sine of theta is equal to y, but yet again I don't have r times sine of theta. We also have r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared, but I don't see an r squared. And we also technically have tangent of theta is equal to y over x. And I don't even have a theta at all. So it's not exactly clear what we could do, but what we are going to do is to take the equation of r equals 7 and try to do something, and hopefully the simplest operation possible, in order to make that look like one of our available conversion equations. For example, you may want to consider, in this case, making it look like r times cosine of theta by multiplying both sides by cosine of theta. However, if you were to try that, you would get r cosine of theta equals 7 cosine of theta. And sure, you can replace the left side now with x, but you still have a cosine of theta to deal with, which is kind of difficult. So let's not do that. That is a possibility. The same issue would hold if I tried to use r sine of theta. So maybe let's look at the third equation. R squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. You could make this r equals 7 involve an r squared in a couple different ways. For example, we could try multiplying both sides by r. If I did that, I would get r squared on the left, but I would now have 7r on the right side. But then I fall into the same trap of, what do I do to deal with 7r? Instead, you could also opt to square both sides. If you square both sides, that will give you r squared equals 49, which now means that I can replace that left side of r squared, and I have no issues on the right side as it's just a constant of 49. Therefore, I can now rewrite this equation as x squared plus y squared is equal to 49, which is the equation of a circle.